So I'm in the garage today, got everything cleared out of here. I got my truck right in the middle, and I want to show you what we got going on. I think I'm going to be doing a little mini refurb on this truck because it is cheaper to fix this thing than it is to buy another truck, and it's an okay truck. So this is my 05 2500 HD. It's sat since the beginning of the year. It's almost August now, and it sat for a few months. Had knee surgery, and I went to use it, and this caliper seized up, and when I was towing the trailer, it caught on fire, and I had to put it out with the hose. So then put a caliper on it, which was also an ordeal in its own, and the brake line popped right about here-ish, somewhere in there. So I knew they were a little crusty. I didn't think they were that bad, but I have a full brake line kit, and it didn't come with these rubber hoses, so I just did the rubber hoses so far on the back, and then there's a crossover line going each way, and now I'm working on getting this line ran from the Y over here, which is also a new rubber hose, to the ABS pump. And then let me grab a flashlight. ABS pump somewhere down there. The master cylinder's up here. There's two lines that go down to the ABS pump, and two more that come back forward. So there's one that comes to this wheel and one goes to the other wheel, and it's a nightmare. And if you can see, the lines are extremely crusty. If I went to take that line off, it's going to snap inside the rubber, so that's why I bought all the new rubber lines. So I'm going to get to work on this. I'm not going to show too much or anything of it. That's probably all I'm going to show until it's done. It's extremely frustrating, and I'm completely over it. Like, I wish I didn't have to do this. So there's other things on the list that I have to do too, and I'll keep you posted of what else I do to this thing. Okay, I'm back working on the truck again. Took a day off. So I got all the brake lines in. I bled them with this Harbor Freight bleeder. Did a pretty good job. Had somebody come over, and I cracked the lines loose, just made sure they were bled by the old-fashioned way by hand, and that was fine. Then I spent a lot of time wire wheeling the frame and painting it. So that looks a lot better. You can see the brake lines in there. Got the side step off this truck right here, and I'm trying to fix some of the rust. There was a lot in here, and it was dripping over the paint here, and there was some rust bubbling under the paint. This doesn't look too nice. I'm gonna try and stop it in there. There's a couple pinholes on the bottom of the rocker. Got a patch. Maybe I'll show you that. I got the back tires on. I ordered new center caps. They should be here this week sometime, so I'll throw those on when they get here. I only have 3, and one of them for Chevy, so I only have 2 for this actual GMC. This side step's got to come off, and if you could see, this is what I'm trying to fix. There's a hole, and then the front wheels can honestly go on, but I'm trying to just grease the front end real quick, so that shouldn't be too long. Just gonna throw some grease inside everything that has a greaser on there, and then throw the wheels on, and then I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with the tranny lines and the fuel lines. They're a little crusty, but the brake lines are in. Everything seems to be holding pressure. That seems to be working fine. So I'm just gonna work on body rust. Took care of the frame scale, so that should last for a while. I used Rust-Oleum Rust Reformer. So I used this Rust-Oleum Rust Reformer on the frame. Leaves a flat black finish, and it actually looked pretty good on there. I did a few coats of that. 6 cans did the outside of the frame. If you want to get the inside and do maybe a little bit thicker of a coat, I'd probably go with 8 cans. They're kind of expensive, and it says use a top coat. A lot of people use this other stuff that's like a wax film. I forget what that's called, but that's way more money. But I just went with the top coat of good old Rust-Oleum Gloss Black, the big tall boy cans. So it looks fine. We're gonna get to doing some more work, trying to fix the rust. I got single stage rattle can paint for the rockers. Don't think it's gonna last very long, but that's the actual body color of the truck, so hopefully it'll match it pretty good. I'll do the body work. I got some fiberglass I'm gonna lay under the bottom of the truck once I'm sanding all the rust out. So like say this was a rust bubble here, I sanded it all the way out, and then I kept going till there was bare metal. So then I'm gonna prime that, but then where it's a little bit rougher areas, I'm gonna fiberglass the whole bottom of the rocker, make like another barrier, paint it, throw that step back on, and hopefully that'll be the end of this shenanigans. Okay, I got the step off of the passenger side now, and you can see what we're trying to fix here. Yeah, it's gross. There's holes. The other side, I welded little patch panels in. I gotta sand this over. It started flash rusting again, but I spray painted the inside of there. And I got fiberglass drying over here. I'm gonna go one more coat of fiberglass on the other side, sand it smooth, do a little thing of Bondo, and then prime, paint it, and then call it done. Throw the step back on. Repeat the same on this side, so I'll show you when I get a little bit further. Okay, working on the truck again. Taking a little break from the rockers. These came in the mail. We got brand new wheel covers. Those are on there good. So I think that looks a million times better. I have 3 caps there. One of them's a Chevy, so I lost a few, and they don't look nice. Just bought transmission cooler lines. They go from the transmission to the radiator and transmission to the cooler. So there's 3 lines. I think I'm going to change those now. They're starting to sweat the lines, so I have little dribbles of that. So I think I'm gonna take care of that. I gotta finish the rust, and I got a couple other goodies for this truck too. Just cut this out of aluminum. In here, it's pretty thick aluminum. Have that sheet there. I didn't have any steel, and I didn't want the rust. So there's a light bar up here, and going down the highway, since I put this headache rack on, the truck whistles. And the whistle's kind of annoying, and I know light bars tend to whistle when they're on the roof, so I think air's hitting the back vents of that light bar, and that's what the whistle's coming from. So I'm going to put this plate behind the light bar, self-tapper it up there, and then I'm going to paint this black, and the whistle should go away. Alright, we got the trans lines in, a new power steering cooler. These fittings were junk. Where the clip goes in rotted out, so I had to get new fittings. Luckily it saved the power steering cooler. That's a good fitting that I had. I didn't actually have to buy them, but that's what I ended up buying. You could see the top half of it rotted out, so the new lines wouldn't clip in there. So the new cooler, the old one's junk. When I took the headlight out, I noticed it was broken, so I have it JB welding. So that'll go back in. I'm gonna throw the grill back in and keep working. Okay, I welded a little bit Patched up the rockers. I gotta sand yet. Fiberglassed them. I fiberglassed it. Got the front end back on, power steering coolers in. I had a JB Weld the one headlight. And on this side, let this dry and put this step back on. Looks much better. Put the interior back together. Alright, so got the garage cleaned up last night. I just wanted, it was raining, I just wanted the truck to sit in one more night inside while everything dried. It all looks fine. Matches fairly well. A little bit of dirt there. And then I got this plate on the back here. If you remember, I was saying that the air flowing over the light bar was making it whistle, so I think that plate on the back side is going to stop it. I finished installing the backup camera. There's a double-din head unit inside the cab of the truck. It was already hooked up. It's a $20 Amazon camera. If anyone's interested, I can put the link in the description or in the comments or something like that. But I think it's like 20-25 bucks. Real cheap. I had it on there for like 2 years over the winter. There's a little cap that goes over the camera, and that fell out, and then the camera started getting foggier and foggier. But now it's nice and clear. I can show you that, and I'm happy with it. If I have to replace it again in a year, 2 years, it's fine. It's better than spending a whole lot of money. But then again, I'm just doing these band-aid repairs on this truck just to try and get the last a little bit longer so I don't have to buy another truck. So my plan right now, ship this thing out of the garage, drive it for a little bit, wash it. It hasn't gotten a bath all year long. And I ordered a fuel line kit. I'm going to change the fuel lines before winter. It's August now. I'm trying to get those done before October, November sometime. Get the fuel lines in it. What else did I want to do? I don't remember. But I'm just going to check over all the fluids and just use the truck for now. So there'll be another part to this. It's fine now. The fuel line should last for a while. That's in it. But they're a little crusty, and I should probably change it, because the last time I thought the lines were a little crusty was the brake lines, and then when I needed them to work, they didn't. So probably should work on getting it changed out. So I'm gonna clean the truck up, get this crap out of the bed, and I gotta get those ramps out of the back for the trailer. Got some other work to do. I'm dicking with this thing again. I had a leak underneath the transmission. This is the rear of the transmission. It's a fitting. This one here wouldn't stop leaking. I've reused the old one, and for some reason it wouldn't stop leaking. Got this fitting here, drove special to get it. Leaked even worse. Bent the line, play with the little fucking clip. Next thing you know, put the old fitting in, kind of works. Other thing too, I'm going to try and return this, but the other thing, I sat the truck here on Friday, it's Monday, and there's a puddle underneath it. Look up. I tried drying the Hydro Boost and cleaned it off because I knew there was a leak coming from there, and there's a puddle underneath the truck, so might as well change it now. 175 bucks, here we go. This is pretty simple to do. Real easy job. You can see I cleaned it all up. The whole thing looked like that. This is the bottom. There's like a weep hole there, and it's just dripping out the back, caked on there. It's junk. See, it's missing. This This clip was the biggest bitch to get off of there, but the rest of it's a pretty easy job. You just gotta it sits in there like that. You gotta get this part up, and then slide it down to where it's wider, and then it'll come right off of there. But other than that, pretty easy so far. I also have my trailer hitch here. I ground this all down with a flap disc because it was all scaly. It wouldn't fit inside the receiver, so it's grinded down, threw a coat of paint on it. Good as new. So I'm in the 2500. It's done. It's driving. I'm towing a trailer. I just gotta say, just not impressed with this truck at all. I felt like this 2500H with the 6-liter and the 4L80, and it's got 410 gears, so it should be a towing machine. My half ton with a 4.8 two-wheel drive ran and towed way better than this thing. And the braking power of this truck, absolutely terrible. I had the same truck, crew cab, short bed, and it was a Duramax, and that truck, I had the same trailers I've owned now that I did then, and that truck stopped. This truck never stopped. I have new booster, the hydro booster, you've seen everything I changed, and this truck still doesn't like stop. I just don't get it. So I'm towing this trailer back to the garage. This is probably the conclusion of the video. It's fixed. I think I can use it for now. I may trade the truck in, I may not. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but I can tell you I'm not super pleased with this truck. I have never really been. It plows okay. It does an okay job at everything, but it's not the best. So remember, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks.